Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today we got some Helldivers 2 news to cover, and I'm really excited. Not only do we have another major order that is likely going to lead us to unlocking the mechs in the game, but also we got another Warbond coming sooner rather than later. If you didn't know, Warbonds are essentially the battle passes of Helldivers 2. However, they last forever. They're never going to go away. And you can unlock them strictly through in-game credits. You'd never really have to purchase anything if you don't want to. Eventually, you will get enough funds from the in-game currency to unlock all of your different Warbonds. So I think that's very, very interesting. And the Warbond is going to include new weapons, a new grenade, a bunch of new things that I definitely can't wait to get hands on with. So let's check out the trailer, and then I'll go over all of the details as well. I don't know how sold I am on this new armor. Looks interesting, very robotic looking. I will say the main downside to the armor sets right now is that they don't really scale as well as I would have liked, and I'll talk about that in a second. This Blitzer looks really cool. I hope it's not underwhelming though. This is a sickle. Burst fire, and then the Punisher. Ooh, that could be very cool. New capes, obviously everyone's gonna love that. Dagger pistol. We'll have to see how strong it is, but it could be cool. And then the stun grenade. I think that's one that a lot of people will definitely use, especially if they're getting overwhelmed. Okay, not bad at all. I really like the armor sets, but I do have some questions, mostly because the armor for me is a little frustrating in the game. I want to play a heavy tank character, but the light armor is just so superior. The movement, the stamina restrictions, the perks are on par. Maybe some are better on light or versus medium or heavy, but the damage resistance on medium or heavy, even after they fixed the bug that was holding them back, just is not worth it in my personal opinion. There's a lot of reasons not to run heavier armor, and it's just really frustrating for somebody who, while I do like being stealthier, being able to move around a little bit better, I do wish I felt just that little bit more tanky when I am running the heavier armor. And the amount of shots you take to die in the game with a heavier armor just doesn't feel rewarding enough for the movement penalties, in my personal opinion. And that's one of the major bummers for me. So we have the new armor sets, which are the EX series prototypes. We have the prototype 3, the 16, and the X. So I do like the look of them. I do think I will rock them, especially the light armor. And I'll rock the heavier armor if we get a buff to how effective they are, especially against some of the different combatants. So we'll see, but overall, I still don't think it's worth running heavy armor unless you absolutely love the aesthetic and that's all you want to run. Now, the weapons is where this gets really interesting. We do have the sickle, which is a short burst, so essentially a pulse rifle type of weapon, hopefully, that doesn't need reloading. You just have to watch for overheating. So that's what I could see being useful if it is strong enough. Then we have the Punisher Plasma. Exploding plasma rounds sound deadly because they are to allies and aliens. This modified Punisher shotgun is as fun as it is fearsome. This one could be hilarious. I don't know how strong it's going to be, but I think it will be really, really funny for friendly fire. So I really want to get hands-on with that one and see how it plays. I think it'll be hilarious. I don't know if it's going to be all that good. You might be able to really horse around with this a lot and use it as you use the grenade launcher currently in the game in the lower level activities, like say the easier difficulties. So that could be a lot of fun. I don't know how strong it is though, and that's what remains to be seen. A lot of things in Helldivers 2 on paper sound very, very good, but then when you get hands-on with them, they might not be as good, and then other things that might not sound as good are just overpowered. So hopefully that all balances out over the course of time. Again, we saw with this latest balance patch, they tried to bring down the things that were too strong, bring up some of the things that were too weak, and hopefully that continues, and they continue to bring up things that are underperforming. And then we have the Arc 12 Blitzer. Project an arc of close-range lightning or charge it up to fire powerful bolts. Good for taking out multiple combatants and giving you more time to pick a celebration emo. So this is one, if it's good, I will run this all the time, to be honest. I know it's not going to be as long range as some other options, and there's things to be said about playing more recon type character with a DMR or a sniper rifle. But for me, this is the type of thing that I would love to be able to, in this game, run a blitzer, a flamethrower, heavy armor, and just be kind of a walking tank type of character. Maybe I'll have to wait until I do get hands-on with the mech, and that will show me whether I can be that type. But for now, this will have to do. Hopefully the blitzer is good enough to really make it worth trading out some of my other options. You also get the stun grenade, like I mentioned, as well as the dagger pistol. I'm all for a laser pistol, to be honest, and if this is really good, I will be ecstatic, because right now the pistols don't feel all that useful. I barely ever have to bring it out. I'll use like a breaker, as well as either now the flamethrower or the any number of grenade launcher, any number of things like that that are effective in that role. Railgun, for example. So there's no reason to really run your secondary unless you're completely out of ammo, in which case you probably done some things horribly wrong. So for me, that's what I think. I just hope that they're good enough to be useful in certain situations. I would love to have, for example, my ideal loadout would be a longer range single shot thing like maybe the railgun, a ad clearing menace like this Arc 12 blitzer, so that way I can clear everything that's pushing me. And then you have maybe like the laser dagger that is good at like that mid-range, that is good at clearing enemies a little bit farther, does a little bit more damage, but maybe doesn't clear the smaller enemies as fast or something like that. I'd like to have something for every level of gameplay, and that would be my ideal setup. So hopefully that's what we see in the future. Anyway, that's all for the new Warbond. I'm excited about it. I know a lot of people haven't unlocked everything in the original two Warbonds. The Warbonds, the free one as well as the premium one, but this just allows for people who have unlocked the majority of stuff to really chase some new things that might be more interesting. We also got the new major order that I mentioned on Tien Quan. This is one that, if you haven't been paying attention, they did announce on Twitter as well that Tien Quan is where the facilities are for us getting our mechs. So essentially the production of our mechs has been halted. So I believe we're going to liberate Tien Quan, and then as soon as we do so, hopefully that leads to the mechs being available right away. That would be absolutely sick. I cannot wait to get hands-on with them. They look absolutely ludicrous and just a lot of fun. They look like they have a minigun as well as rockets on them, and just being in a mech in this game is going to be absolutely hilarious, and hopefully they're as good as they look. So I can't wait to get hands-on with that, and I really like the way that they're handling new equipment in this game. Having it be tied to the in-game lore, us as a community unlocking the new stuff, and really pushing to get new items and objectives, I think is fantastic. And that will lead to the longevity of this game because people will continue pushing for that new stuff to play around with. I can't wait. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Helldivers 2 content from me. I'm going to post a video with my new favorite loadout here in the next day or so that I'm absolutely in love with, so I want to show it to you guys. It's not anything too crazy, but it has been updated since the recent patch, so definitely stay tuned for that. My name is JoPa. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.